What is up, everybody? Sorry for the delay. It's just been one of those nights. Rob and I over Extreme recorded something, an episode of that offline, went a little late, so that pushed our stream back a little late. So then, of course, I wasn't prepared for this stream, so I had to get that going, bring the link. So we're just a little bit late tonight, but it's okay, though. Only Moran is here. And then, I guess me and my phone, and then bring on his phone. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Brian's here. Cool. Another person, a live-blooded person. Yeah, so tonight, it's kind of a chill night, We got Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday. I was talking to the guys offline as far, mainly the brain, and I think I haven't really reached out to Jeff yet, but I have nothing going on this Thursday. And I know a lot of people will probably be having their own Thanksgiving dinners. I know Breen, you're going to be with my sisters. I imagine Jeff's going to be out with his family. I might just do a quick little solo, or maybe I show off my 9 books this week I'm getting, and that's it. And then, boom. Because I'd rather just get it out and try to push. I don't want, because I can't really want to push it back on the Friday. We're kind of packed on Fridays as it is for stuff. I figure, why not? And I'll be able to stream against Angleton because I know he's gonna go live on Thanksgiving with a turkey in his hand. Was live, but yeah, not many books out this week that I'm really looking forward to. But there are a few that I'm still kind of going through. Mainly the books that are tied to the DC KO thing. I'm not really thrilled about that. So when I get a book that's a DC book that's not tied to an event and just keeps going through, I really love that, enjoy that, because that's the one thing I hate is like when you're forced to do something that you don't want to do, and I've always been a rebel with that. If someone tells me you got to do this, I do the opposite. But anyway, enough about that. You're not here to hear me talk about books, or at least talk about that. Got anything to say, Breen, before we go into the books?
Nope.
No opening monologue? All right.
I'm really to the point to where I'm not sure why I'm even here anymore.
You're the Ed McMahon. It's kind
of
just kind of there to sit on the couch.
And you are correct, sir.
Exactly. That's why you're there. Oh, alrighty. Let me get this and share my screen here, and then we'll go over to the books. All right. This week in comics, it's the top 5 for the Geeky Puppet Show. Musical guest Eric Breen. And the sound of the jam, or Joy Division. Take your pick.
Jam.
Yeah.
Joy Divisions makes me suicidal. Yeah, kind of like it did for Ian Curtis.
There it is. Well, that's another other band you're talking about. That you're talking about, I think of as Badfinger. Those both the two guys also knocked themselves off. At least, yeah, Suicide. Great band though, but Badfinger. I believe they were screwed out of their money. That's what the case was?
A lot of people were screwed out of their money in those days.
Yeah, but yeah, wow.
I think they did the best version of Baby Blue also.
Yeah, I never knew who sang that song. But I always, whenever it came on the radio back in the day, and it was just a fantastic song.
Easier to list who didn't.
Right?
But I want to say Bob Dylan wrote that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Glad he didn't sing it.
He did.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't hear it because I'm going. He has that weird. I guess Norm Macdonald would probably do it the best impersonation. Yeah. But anyway, enough about music and depressing stuff like that. But let's talk about some other depressing stuff here going on.
No, I was wrong. It was written by Pete Ham.
Yeah, that's the guy who knocked himself out, or at least I think Pete went first or second. I can't remember, but it was like 3 years later after the one of them died, killed himself. I was like, damn. And then the rest, I think did they go on to do another band that they're survey members, or am I thinking of the Jam? Because
Bob Dylan wrote a song called "It's All Over Now, Baby Blue."
I think it was the Jam. After their singer guy, didn't they go on to do Blue Monday with a different band, New Order?
No, the Joy Division became New Order.
Oh, okay, so that's new. Yeah.
The Jam, Paul Weller became the Style Council.
You want to hear something really depressing? Watch the story of the New York Dolls. How every one of them just dies like one after another instantly. Like not instantly, but
David Johansen just died last year.
Yeah, he was one of the last two.
I know Johnny Thunders died in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, questionably. That's when I overdosed. But even the girl that was always hanging out with him, his ex-girlfriend, Johnny's not Johnny, but the one he just mentioned before, the lead singer, his girlfriend, she died of breast cancer in the early 2000s, really early 2000s, and then like before that, all the members, you look at them how early they died off.
And you know who David Johansen also was, right?
Buster Poindexter. Yes.
It's good for him, but yeah, I said it's a shame more people remember him from that than New York Dolls and in a really good solo career.
I was watching him on the Midnight Special, and wow, did he look like Mick Jagger? A little bit.
Oh, he did.
It's crazy.
But he did a live album, and by live I mean it was not a very big audience, but called "Live It Up," and it's one of the 2 or 3 best live albums I've ever heard.
It was just a weird. Like when I learned that they were on the Midnight Special and all thing, I was like, that doesn't really fit the crowd there. Like it says, because Midnight Special, all these other bands, and they were like the punk. They really just with a sore thumb sticking out. So, but yeah, interesting though. Yeah, I just watched the younger when he was younger, watching those older videos. But you go on YouTube, there's a lot of, you can find pretty much everybody in the 70s, 80s, the punk bands, there's a lot of playlists out there. So I've been going through that and just coming across and like, wow, how many there were and how many survived. And the Clash was one of them. Everybody talks about the Sex Pistols, the Clash, New York Dolls. What was Henry Rollins in?
Black Flag.
Black Flag. That was the other one. Yeah.
And the Clash, when they broke up, Mick Jones formed Big Audio Dynamite, and Joel Strummer kind of went more like roots. But he unfortunately, Strummer died in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always question because when I see these people involved in that scene, I always wonder like it's either suicide, overdose, or it's cancer, and it seems to be a lot of them. The New York Dolls, a lot of it was cancer, except for a couple there.
Two careers that didn't lend themselves to across the board longevity is music and wrestling. A lot of people die young in both those fields.
Yeah. We'll talk about wrestling later with Jim Cornette and complaining, about everything. AEW.
No, just as long as it's AEW. I mean, if
no
Brock
respect
Lesnar came to the ring and opened fire into the crowd, Jim Cornette would excuse it.
AEW and their flippy flips doesn't. They're stealing money from well-deserving actual wrestlers.
No, he said they're stealing money from a rich kid.
Well,
that was a shot at Tony Khan.
Yeah, I know. But
Cornette's just a I'll never take away what he did for wrestling in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah, but TNA though, he bombed that one.
Cornette hadn't. I don't think Cornette had any association with TNA.
I'm pretty sure I read up that he did.
Bischoff did. Because that's where all the old WCW ghosts went to haunt. But Cornette he's it's weird. You would think he'd like AEW because Cornette is a huge leftist.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, these are paid journalists, paid opinionists. Or they just don't like it because of the fact they're not involved. And that's why Eric Bischoff was basically rejected, not allowed to work with AEW, and that's why he's upset. He's mad because he got to work with WWE, and Tony said, "No, I don't need you. Sorry," and he got offended, and that's why he's been a little bitch since then. He can go have his TED talk on why he's upset, but
yeah.
Let's get on to comic books while everybody's here before they leave. Number 5 tonight is Superman. Number 32, part of the DC KO. Loads. There it goes. Lex Luthor is back, but how did he get into the deadly tournament? Can Superman and Lex work together to learn about the heart of Apocalypse? And how to stop it, and who protects Metropolis as it transforms into a raging fire pit? Now, I guess in order to understand this story, I'm gonna have to read the KO because though I honestly I don't really care about this thing. The reason I'm gonna pick this up, I want to read it because I want to see what's going on with Lois and Superboy Prime. To me, that's more of a payoff to me than anything that's going on with the KO stuff. But yeah, Legacy $8.75, $5, man. I'm shocked that Superman's got $5. I want because for how popular Batman is, more than I arguably can say that Batman's more popular than Superman. And I'm surprised that they are putting $5 on the Superman titles.
I'll tell you what, another 6 months of Matt Fraction writing it and still waiting for the series
Batman
prior series to end. Superman might actually catch it in sales.
Probably.
And I would have never said that a year ago, but when I look at The Amazing Spider-Man being like the 6th or 7th best selling, or like 7th most ordered, that was for years and years. That was an automatic number 1. Same with Batman.
Yeah.
Regardless of who was on it.
This is a cool cover. In the lava and stuff, lifting up the I like that. One of the Legion chicks. Not sure which Legion it's supposed to be.
I don't know.
It's not Shadowlass, is it?
It might be. They all look so different than when I was reading.
Yeah, but then again, this is also a Dark Side version too.
Yeah, but it's even if they weren't.
Oh, we're both wrong. It's Sky Blue.
Half of them have been race swapped and gender swapped and.
Oh, look at it. He brought his blanket with him. Oh wait, it's his cape. And it really looks like they're going for the Brandon and Ruth version. But I love this. I love this cover here. You see that ass? That's Metropolis's ass.
Hey, Vengman, do you know how TED Talks start?
Rich Democrats give each other money.
No. No, it's, hey, Gene.
Well, one of these times I was hoping to get the girls to tune into one of these episodes, but I guess we're just stuck with Donna in the chat. Hi, Donna. How's it going there, Maranya? No. You know what? Next time we have a JSA book and I read Ted Grant, you're getting Ted. All right. Josh Williamson running on this. So, and then Eddie Burrows doing the penciling. I don't know if he's new to this book, but I've never heard that name multiple times before by Zach, and possibly by you too as well. I think. Yeah. Jan Moore did the cover, and then Eddie Burrows on the interior. Eddie Burrows doesn't even have a variant, so if you don't know what his art is, well, you're in for a treat. Let me look quick though.
Eddie Barrows did a ton of Teen Titans in the
90s.
Like he followed like the Jeff John series that lasted 100 issues.
All right, so he did last week's issue or last month's issue too. Cool. So he's a returning artist. So if you bought the last book, you're not getting a different artist. All right, cool. And let's go in the chat here. Do people still watch TED Talks anymore? Honestly, I only catch them on YouTube clips. And it's very, very random that I do. I think the only one I've actually seen was the freaking Eric Bischoff one that popped up randomly because it was Eric Bischoff. Otherwise, who the hell has done TED Talks? I can't name a single person other than Eric Bischoff. You know? But, and why are they called TED Talks anyway? Who is Ted? Well, see, Ted is actually, that's not Ted Turner. What if he's got involved in that for TNT? I mean,
I'm not sure Ted Turner knows he's Ted Turner at this point.
How old is he? Is he in his 90s yet? He was up in his 70s or something, wasn't he, when he did 90s? He's got to be up in age.
87.
Wow. May Riley Rossmo and Brian Michael Bendis produce the story of your life, RDV. I know what? I welcome. Challenge accepted. Let's bring it on. All right. Number 4 for me this week. We're going to shift gears from DC. And we're going to head into Geiger, number 18. All right. Can Geiger die? That is the question. Edwa Peniska is doing the art. Is he filling in for somebody? I don't remember. Because isn't it usually...
Who's the artist?
Gary Frank's not on the art of this time. It's a new artist. It's a penciler from before. Edward Peniska from the... So he's the main artist. And maybe it's an error. But they don't list Gary Frank being the main penciler artist, you know. Eduardo Peniska has been doing some art, like probably doing backgrounds probably or something like that. So they don't list Gary Frank this week, which concerns me.
I'm not surprised. He
probably needs a break.
Not fast.
Yeah. So the question is, can Geiger die? Tariq Geiger has been captured, stripped of his powers, and thrown into a twisted society, the high security penitentiary known as the prisoners. No allies, no escape, no more time, as he's sentenced to death inside their brutal system. The question isn't whether Geiger can survive, it's whether he ever really could. So, it doesn't list Gary Frank on here on the cover whatsoever. So, Gary Frank's taking the day off. I gotta tell you though, the one thing I know, a lot of like Rod and Silver Age and other people, you know, they like the go checks. I don't think the go checks work with this book for me personally. Maybe because it's too much of a modern style art. I like go checks on, like, you know, art that's set from that time period or based or stylized like that. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Because here's the other cover. Here's the Kyle Holtz cover with the guy with the. It just seems out of place. Although I do like the font on here on this cover versus the white background. I don't understand the white background for Geiger in the red cover. This is a weird cover. And this is the Gary Frank Youngblood team up variants. The funny thing is, I thought that was Ashley, the other Geiger, the girl chick, because I thought because the armor in there looks like boob plate armor.
Yeah. 1-6 got a good point. That big honking sign in the right hand corner blocks a good chunk of the books.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Hold on. That's probably because I zoomed in too much.
Well, I mean, that takes up a good sixth of the screen.
Normally, it doesn't do that. It didn't do that last week. And if it did, no one said anything. I've been doing this for 3 weeks.
I was watching last week.
Yeah. Waiting to see if it does that. Still doing it?
Yeah. Unless you can move the book over to the left-hand corner altogether. Total all the way over to the left.
Yeah. Oh. Did not know that. Well, you know what? I just realized something. I had the wrong layout up. That's why. That's right, what it is. Hold on a second. I'm gonna stop screen
That's
here.
funky.
Yeah. So we'll do this, and we'll just do this. We'll just get rid of the layout here, and then we'll do it back in. And I wish somebody would have said something like 2 weeks ago, because I've been doing this this layout for 2 weeks now, but no one says anything.
I don't remember blocking anything last week. But
that's the thing. I don't know either. So maybe I might be using the wrong layout, but yeah. All right. There you go. All right. Better?
Yeah, now it's perfect.
All right.
Now the only thing blocking it is the chat.
The people talking. No. That's more so for the people because I stream this to Twitter and to YouTube, so if people talk, you can see their comments. Because sometimes the hosts, the shows will talk. And you're like, well, who the fuck are you talking to? No. All right. Cool. All right. So here's the cover again, so you guys can see it. That's right, Brian. You're here for the entertainment. It's my channel. Not really my channel. I just use it. It's Puppetines.
I think you have squatters' rights to it by now.
Dude. You think so? I don't know.
Sure.
Right. All right. So here's the covers again. You guys can see them. Yeah. Like I said before, I'm just not a fan of the Go-Go checks. It just seems weird to have it on a modern book or modern art. The one that should have Go-Go checks is here. The throwback to the 90s.
Well, it's still 3 decades later.
Why not? It's closer. But I still don't like this cover though, because it looks like it's a female version behind them. And I have no idea who that's supposed to be. Is this supposed to be Hawkeye? The Wildstorm version of Hawkeye?
I couldn't name a young blood member to save my life.
Honestly, and that's the thing I wanted to say something to Rob Liefeld's been going on a rant lately. He's ever since he was rejected couldn't go to the party for Deadpool Wolverine, whatever. He was snubbed. He just bashes everything Marvel and stuff, and he's just like, he's like, yeah, the MCU movie or movies, just because he only shits on the Marvel movies now. He doesn't shit on the DC movies. I noticed that. It's like, bro, you're not gonna get hired at DC. I always want to say, it's like, bro, it's like, quit complaining. You got paid, and you're living more comfortably than anybody and a lot of other people are right now. So you're a little you're higher up on the food chain, But yeah, Youngblood sucks. I don't know anybody personally that says, you know what, I love Youngbloods. I'm so glad they brought Youngbloods back.
Well, I'm not gonna shit on Rob Liefeld because he, unlike 90% of the people in this stupid industry, legitimately loves comics.
Sure, but I'm just saying, on Twitter though, he's been doing the shit Neil Adams says when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah, he's angry at Marvel. They fucked him over more than that too. But yeah, I said it's at least, I said Eric Bischoff and Jim Cornette shit on a product that's better than the product they're defending.
Yeah.
At least Rob Liefeld's shitting on shit.
Like I said, I'm a little personal offensive because of the fact that I actually did like the Fantastic Four movie, but he's acting like Superman was way better than that movie. Yeah. To me, they're both on the same par.
I agree with you, but I also can see why somebody would think one was vastly superior to the other. It's all a matter of what you want out of a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Superman because it felt like you were coming in the middle of the movie, and we didn't have to waste time with an origin. And Fantastic Four didn't waste a bunch of time on an origin.
No, I like that too.
I like them both.
My problem with Superman is the fact that it wasn't a Superman movie. It was everyone but Superman, for the most part.
Well, then you ought to be damn glad that they didn't go with Kevin Smith's
original. Felt like a freaking CW or Josh Whedon show. Team Superman. They don't need that.
No, it wasn't quite that. But Kevin Smith did an original. He did a script for a Superman movie where he had everybody in it. It would have been a Justice League movie.
Everybody
starring Superman, but I said it didn't. I liked it. Yeah, it's just another version of Superman, and it's the closest Superman we've ever gotten on the big screen to a Clark Kent that
Clark Kent's not the Mask.
The post-crisis Superman. That's as close we've ever gotten to it.
Yeah, true.
Everybody else has been Silver Age, sniveling Clark Kent.
It just
felt like that this one wasn't.
This kind of felt more like it was Batman versus Superman in the sense of the cast.
Could have done without the Tony Khan hairstyle. But, that's just me.
It's in style right now. Okay,
I'll take your word for it.
I guarantee it'll look good on you.
Thank you, Men's Warehouse.
You're welcome. All right. Next one we got coming up here for number 3. Where is it? Oh, did they get pushed out? Or did I pass it up? Look. That's why. That's just throw me off. I normally do this. Okay, that's what threw me off. Green Lantern number 29. Threw me off because of the cover, because it's not a Green Lantern cover. It's a freaking Oliver Queen. Was it even Oliver Queen, or is it going to be his son, Connor Hawk? Hal Jordan Green Arrow up against a cosmic mystery. Ooh, mystery will sell this book. Hal is off to Star City to check out on his good friend Oliver Queen.
Star City!
When Oliver Queen and things start to go sideways, and the boys find themselves with a bit of a problem that can only lead to some serious hard travel solution. Bit of a problem.
Thank you.
Now, there's only one issue I have with this. You remember we got that cool crossover with the Flash Green Arrow and Hal Jordan, that annual whatever sort special.
Yeah.
That artist isn't on his book.
I know that guy was so good.
Oh,
not that the guys that have been doing Green Lantern haven't been, but
sure. But when I first saw this cover, I was like, "Who the heck is in this freaking outfit for Green Lantern?" I guess you could say shading, but it looks like he's just wearing a black costume with a green hood now, which is not really over Queen Green Arrow.
However,
yeah,
we might finally get a well-written Green Arrow because it's Jeremy Adams.
How dare you say that? Chris Condon has been doing awesome work there, tackling down corporate white billionaires that are polluting. Even Batman and Dark Patterns, that first story arc, took down some bad people that were polluting, and that's how we got the Wounded Man story.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld does have a big ego, and he's always quick to point out his monster sales on a couple of his books, but and which is true, you can't take that away from him. But if NSYNC wants to brag that they had the best first week sale of any album in history, that does not make them better than the Beatles. And that's something, I said Rob was absolutely right place, right time, but he had the goods for that right place and right time also. So that, make of that what you will. So I said it's, he's certainly within his rights to make those claims, because a lot of other people had chances to sell like that in that bubble period.
That was a Rod Rice cover. Huh. I kind of like that. The glowing, kind of like a little ember thing. Makes it look magical. But for not for $6. I'm looking forward to this. I hope this does well. And yeah. Cool.
You still haven't shown me anything as cool as a Martha Kent sippy cup.
I mean, nothing's cooler than Martha Kent at a Drake show.
I wonder if she's drinking out of her own sippy cup.
No, if she's drinking out of drunk James Mason's, sippy cup. And then Anna Watkins shows up.
Oh, if they had a drunk James Mason sippy cup, I'd buy one of those in a heartbeat. They're right next to my Martha Kent.
Yes. You know what I want? The Rear Window one, like a sippy cup, and it has him and just, from that movie on the cup, where he's just killing his wife. That would go well. All right. Go well. Guy played Barry Mason. His
Raymond
Burr would be awesome if they had his character from Rear Window along with Tommy Udo on a T-shirt.
Yeah, but we never saw him do what he did. We just saw him trying to get rid of the evidence.
Exactly. Or Tommy Udo does the thing, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll get rid of the body."
Now, have you ever watched that entire movie?
No, I've only seen that scene. Which one? Rear Window, or talking about the other one?
No, Kiss of Death.
No, that's on my list. Because that kiss is on my list.
Richard Widmark would have been a phenomenal Riddler.
Yeah. I do like Frank Gorshin, though, live action.
Oh, yeah, but I said
he was the best actor on that show.
And it's weird because he wasn't an actor. Yeah, his main claim to fame was he was an impressionist. He was the big impressionist before Rich Little.
Wow.
They used to call him the man of 1,000 voices.
I've not heard Rich Little's name in a while, too. All right. Number 4. Or actually, no, that was number 3. We're number 2 now. That's right. Number 2 is another DC tie-in. This week. Let me go here. we're going into that's right, Justice League Unlimited. So my only nitpick with this so far, and before we get into it, is that this is not Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond. This is Tim Drake Batman Beyond. But as long as he leaves the mask on and they don't call him Terry, or I call him Tim, it's Terry to me. I don't care. I don't know why Mark Waid's like, you know what, we should bring back the one character version nobody loved, Tim Drake being Batman Beyond. Yeah, that was the thing that pissed a lot of people off when they did that in the book series Futures End and reveal, oh, it's not Terry, it's Tim. Dumb. This is a terrific 10 or a do or die mission. The Earth opens up the swallow of the JLU. Parademon swarm the Watchtower. The Time Trapper lies near dead at the Metamorpho's feet. Any one of these things is catastrophic, but all three simultaneously, can Armageddon be far behind? Yeah. We're getting 2 series with Power Girl. Power Girl was in the Justice League Red, and this is Power Girl from Time Variants. So, we also got Superman Blue. And it looks like, is that supposed to be hey, your buddy, Alan Scott? I don't think it's Hal Jordan, but yeah. There's a list here, characters. All right. So we have Aquaman, time displays. Batman, Tim Drake, time displays. Dr. Fate, Sophie, time displays. Goldhawk is displays. Okay, this is Alan Scott. Okay, cool. Then we have All Woman. We also have Power Girl, Superman Blue, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, Time Trapper, Guy Gardner, time displaced warrior. Dude, that last issue, when Guy Gardner, before, because he knows where they're going on as a suicide mission, they had to go into hell. They had in order to their mission, and it's chances that they weren't coming back. He went over and he found they also had some me time to him, especially when they found out that they're actually not, they can't survive out of time as it is that long because they're time variants displaced. He goes up to Ice in the last issue. Ice and Fire who are busy battling some monsters and stuff, and goons. And he goes up there and he's like, "Hey," and he thinks that they're still together, stuff. And he starts flirting with her until he finds out. Then Fire kind of says it's like, get out of here, like you're not together anymore or whatever and stuff. And it's just like, so he kind of apologizes and then flies away, leaves. I was like, I loved Warrior version of Guy Gardner more so than I like the current version. But I guess it all depends on the writer too. But yeah, other covers here. We got 1 of 5. Wow. Here's the Marcos Martin variant. And then we got the Lionel Francis Yu. And the Jeffrey Spokes cover. It's a connecting variant. Ooh, I love it. That's the one thing I love about Batman's new costume. I love the detail on the utility belt. Seems like with every new incarnation of the suit, they change it up a little bit. And then Salvador Roca variant for that's with Batman Beyond and Superman Blue. That's the one thing I really liked when people draw the Batman face. It just looks bad. Looks like nightmare Phil. Like it just took some fear toxin from Scarecrow, and I just don't like that face. But let's go on the chat. My sister and my mom is at the Wicked movie right now, so I'm watching the Phineas and Ferb Wizard of Oz special. Your mom and your sister willingly went to go see Wicked. Okay. I guess people can like what they want, but oof. You made the correct decision, though. Phineas and Ferb is the superb answer. In fact, I'd bet the whole entire tri-state area that it is. What do you think, Breen?
What's that?
Subject yourself to Phineas and Ferb taking Wizard of Oz, or go watch the new Wicked movie.
I know what I'm going to do today.
And it's not Wicked. No. That is another comic, though. We're probably gonna read on the channel one of these days. There's a little anthology book. All right, that was my number 2, and we're gonna go to my number 1, and then we'll just kind of like browse through the books here, and then we'll get to the trades. But my number 1 book for this week is the Immortal Legend Batman. I believe this is Higgins, yeah. Kyle Higgins is on issue. What does it say here? It was issue 4. It says, "Welcome to the jungle. The immortal legend Batman knows how to stop a shadow attack, but what is he to do when the very soil beneath his feet poses a threat? Deep within the jungle of a seemingly uninhabitable planet lies a poisonous threat, ready to take down the immortal legend Batman." Here's covers here. Cover 1, cover A, by Dan Mora. Dan Mora also does a variant too, which I'm really liking. And then here's Kieran Grant. If you're curious about this series, it is very Kamen Rider inspired. So it's very manga-esque. We're liking it. Now it's on manga format, although I would probably like it more if it was in manga format, because this just seems like a manga book. And it's just been fun. Matt Groom's been great on here. To list anything else. Yeah, but yeah, so Batman's gone through all his different villains of this so far. We had Bane, we just had the Riddler. I'm hoping that we get it looks like we're gonna get Poison Ivy here. Imagine that. Poison Ivy being a villain. But this is an Elseworld story. It is more like a what if, a scientist, kind of like if you ever watched Noctera, scientists open up this rift that caused the world, at least these like shadow universe, these demons, and these demons are pretty much like the shadow creatures are the Batman's rogue family, rogue villains, and Bruce Wayne took over the mantle of because there's 3 devices that are given out, kind of like Morphers, kind of like Kamen Riders get, and Bruce Wayne was trained to be the next Batman, the successor. He's the current Batman, but the one before him was Thomas Elliot. His father was the original Batman, and he trained Bruce to become the new Batman. And Alfred is actually now here's the thing about Alfred. Alfred is a highly advanced robot in this, so you're kind of getting like a Danger Will Robinson kind of vibe for him too. And Alfred like pretty much was like took care of him and read to him bed stories, when he was little and stuff. It's just kind of cool with the robot doing it stuff. Kind of like what Elon Musk wants to do. Have the robot take care of your kids. But so now he's a successor, and Thomas Elliot is learned from the successor for Robin and Nightwing that Bruce has been doing his own thing, and apparently he's doing the one thing that Thomas Elliot could never do, and he's actually going to succeed in defeating the shadow monsters. And Thomas Elliot is no, I'm sorry. Thomas is the son. The dad was the one. Yeah, was the one I was kind of jealous, and now he's basically called up Thomas Elliot. So Thomas Elliot is going to be making his first appearance probably in this issue. So, like I said, this has been fun. I really dig the Elseworld books for Batman. Speaking of Elseworld Batman, though, that's out there, absolute. I might just dip out again. I mean, that annual put a sour taste in my mouth, and I really don't really want to go back to that world again. Now, that be fair though, Scott Snyder, even though he says that crap online, he hasn't put it into his books. And that was General Warren Johnson that did that whole ice, and MAGA bad and all that crap, over annual. Oh, it's gross. But yeah, I might check it out eventually down the line. But yeah, but all right. But that is it for my top 5 this week. Recapping: Superman 32 was my number 5. Geiger 18 was my number 4. Number 3 was Green Lantern. What was that? Number 29. Then we had Justice League Unlimited, number 13. Then Invincible and Batman at number 1. You just saw. Invincible was my number 1 book. So there are other books out this week, as you can see here. Obviously, Absolute Batman is here. DCKO number 2 is coming out for $6. Detective Comics, I believe that's Tom Taylor. We also have the other tie-in here too. He has the Flash tie-in. Green Arrow. I thought that book was over. Maybe that's the last Chris Condon book. Batman Arcadia. It's Batman and Green Arrow in the Question. I was looking at this the other day, and I don't recognize any of the writers on this, which means it could be really bad or it could be really good. Gabriel Hardman and Romulo Ferraro Jr. Yeah. For this gang husk of Hub City, Vic Sage, The Question, goes deep undercover on the trail of a human trafficking operation in the frozen Arctic. Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow push out of his own company's C-suite because must get his crumbling his life back together. But what is Queen Industries' involvement with the mysterious project dubbed Arcadia? Spurred on by The Question, Green Arrow joins the hunt for answers, but only one obstacle stands in the way of their investigation: the Batman. Writer-artist Gabriel Hardman comes to DC Black Label with a hard-boiled modern twist on the DC social thrillers of the 1980s, updating his opinionated trio of lone wolf vigilantes for the era of open-class warfare and ecological collapse. So this also has variants. But what comic is this cover? It kind of looked like the Mike Grell kind of Green Arrow. The hood and stuff. So here's Kevin Nolan returning to do a cover, which I thought was interesting because I haven't seen his artwork at all. Batman don't like it. He looks kind of like caveman in his face, but overall, though, it's decent. Bill Sienkiewicz, look at this, man. This is freaking 1980s. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted, Breen. Just for the Bill Sienkiewicz or Sienkiewicz. You've heard of both ways. Cover. Of course, is the another variant. I guess is the Virgin variant. But it looks like it's art. Oh, it's Bill and Dennis Cohen doing art on this.
I wonder if this is a reprint of the 91 annuals.
I don't know. This is just a regular Black Label. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, maybe it's. What if it's the sequel to that?
Maybe. It says with a hard-boiled modern twist on the DC social thrillers of the 1980s, updating this opinionated trio of lone wolf vigilantes for the era of open-class warfare and ecological collapse.
Oh, no, thank you. That's going to be a 4-color lecture.
Maybe be an online browsing because I don't want to spend too much. It's $6. It's the price of a Happy Meal. But you aren't happy when you read this. All right. All right. Oops. I gotta go here. All right. Other books come out this week. We got the Hulk, Infernal Hulk #1. Is this a relaunch, reboot? Same people,
He looks like the Rhino with a tiny baby head.
right?
That'd be a, even if I were still into comics, that'd be a hard pass.
Philip Kennedy Johnson is on here. So they're just relaunching the title and a new #1 and calling it the Infernal Hulk. Oh, Marvel. All right. The evil known as Eldest has literally torn Bruce Banner and the Hulk apart, taking the Hulk's body as their own. This new unstoppable Infernal Hulk is 10 times the monster that everyone always feared Hulk would be. Their diabolical plan, diabolical, is plunge the world back into the ancient horrors by transforming our heroes into nightmarish beasts. Why does this remind me of Fear Itself? Wasn't that Fear Itself for that? They all had freaking hammers?
Yeah, but he was wasn't like this.
No. Look at that smile and that comb over. The shaved head on one side and it full. It just gets worse. That's the 125. Hey, this looks better. Street first, I guess. Street Fighter, maybe. Big time collectibles. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, people wonder why I dipped out. If I'm gonna go read Hulk, I'm reading Peter David. I'll go back to that. Black Cat's on #4. It's not a miniseries. It's still going. Wow. When Jen McKay wrote it, it went for like I think 10 issues, 10 or 12 issues, and then they canceled it. Department of Truth is still going on in #34. Skinbreaker #3. That is the Robert Kirkman, David Finch book, the one that Wes has been praising the hell out of over on his channel, Vicky Critical. He is a very much, I want to say simp, but he is very much a fan of David Finch's art. Then we have Punisher Daredevil, or Daredevil Punisher, the Devil's Trigger. Jimmy Palmiotti is doing another Punisher book. While he's doing the one for Marvel Knights, we're gonna have a little 4-issue miniseries here. It says, do you have what it takes to pull the trigger? Daredevil and the Punisher, two of Marvel's mightiest, with one of the most celebrated and storied rivalries in comics, find themselves at the odds not only with each other, but with New York's criminal element once again. Writer Jimmy Palmiotti revisits the world that was, and as Frank Castle is pitted against the new crime family for their most violent and visceral confrontation yet, as their conflict threatens to tear Hell's Kitchen apart. Let's fall to Daredevil to contain the chaos. I don't know this Tommaso Bianchi, but it's Kendrick Lim doing the cover for here, and I don't see the actual. Yeah, so the interior artist doesn't have a cover. 32 pages for $4.99. So the price of a Batman book or a Superman book. David Marquez, 125. Looks like shit. Those guns look bad, and not only that, Punisher's face looks horrible. He looks like AI. Go how long his his neck is. Jeez. Now look at it's a street version. Look, it's Daredevil. Look, she's even got the Daredevil little hat. And
like Kachu from Strangers in Paradise.
I've never liked when I see people wearing those like looks like suspenders hanging from their pants. That whole style. How do you do anything without getting caught in something? You know, the Dan Panagen is probably my favorite variant, better than the first cover, because Frank actually looks like he's seen some shit. He looks old. He looks like George Reeves as Punisher, or Josh Brolin, you know. But yeah,
As I say, George Reeves whacked himself before he got looking that old, allegedly.
I'd make a joke about that, but it'd just be gross. But yeah, this is the Joshua Cassera variants.
Jesus.
What's that?
Blowouts.
No.
Every game on right now is like 15 points or more. Some of them are like 30 points.
Yeah, it's a weird cover. Stormbreaker is variant. But yeah, this is the main cover here. I guess you could say Frank looks like a Italian mobster. But the problem is, though, I think I've seen this cover before, though. This pose, at least. You know. If they really want to sell this, they should have got Marco Cicchetto to do the art. Or at least do the cover. So, that's coming out this week. Except for $4.99. I still say the best one is, if you want to read a Punisher book right now, ongoing little miniseries, is going to be the Punisher Red Band. That is the one that's being currently written by Benjamin Percy. Also, The Invisible Man is out this week too, as well. Another fun series. That is the final issue of the miniseries. Prequel, I guess, leading up to the actual movie. And then we have, I guess, Marvel Knights Punisher 2. There you go. So Palomati's got 2 Punisher books coming out this week. Uncanny. Crazy. Marvel Zombies, Red Band. Thanos Zombie? Not sure. And I guess all these Elseworlds. Age of Revelation. And then we have nothing loading here for some reason. There it goes. Justice League. Has that coming out this week too? Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Didn't that already come out? Are these reprints?
No, I guess the 5th issue isn't coming out till tomorrow.
Wow. I thought that series was over. I forgot all about it. Wow. That they must, because the DC event came out, DC KO, they must have shoved it back. Wow. I completely forgot about it. Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman. Yay. Wonder Girl and Robin, Mask of Love. And then we have Pharaoh, which has been another great book to ongoing. Tony Fleeks and Trish Forrester. Very good book. And then got Venom here, I guess. We got Thundercats. Supernatural, number 2. The art is just as shitty as the cover. Not worth it. And if you want to actually go read an actual good version of this, go back to about like 10 or 15 years ago. Or actually go back longer than that. When the series, that show first started airing, it had its own comic book. And the art was 10 times better. Hornsby and Halo, the other Image book coming out this week from Ghost Machine. I think it's actually the only one. I think it's the last one of the month. Uncle Scrooge, Earth Mightiest Duck, The Dynamite, or no, actually it's the Marvel actually this time. Catacomb of Torment. I love the cover art on these things. I just said I wish the stories were at least as decent. And then we have a Berserker, The Bleeding Tide, another chapter of the Berserker stuff with Keanu Reeves. And then it's Marjorie Liu and Gary Brown. On that. Dracula, Black and White special number 2 is coming out. I'm guessing this is the final 2 issues of that series.
Yeah.
So if it's a nice black and white special, cool. Flash Gordon number 13 is out this week too as well. You can guess the I saw Uncle kissing Santa Claus That is the wokest of woke writers in there. And it sucks because the one time DC remembers, hey, remember Merle Hunkle? Yeah, no thanks. Then it says I saw Santa Spawn Universe Christmas Story. That's coming out this week too as well. We get some variants, and we also have a Vampirella Holiday special, one-shot special. Last year's was pretty good. I expect this one to be just as well. Exo Man of War is still going on. Biker Mice Mars is still going on. This week's facsimile is Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. Then we also have G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Hama Files Edition. I think it has to be a facsimile. If that's not a facsimile, I am shocked because that has a nice look cover. It looks old. And then getting some variants here. Look at Nosferatu's coming out this week too as well. Deadhead number 1. And then we get into all these weird kind of manga stuff. Oh yeah, Titans 28, second printing. Yeah. But Mr. T through Tidal Wave Productions. So all right. We're gonna go over to trades real quickly, get those done. Void Rivals number 4. If you have not been following Void Rivals, Void Rivals has been tied into the Energon universe. Robert Kirkman's been on here, helming it and writing it too. Very good series. Check it out. It really ties into what's going on with Transformers now. Very key to the story, the whole overall. So make sure you get that. That's only $17. It's more entertaining and cheaper than the DC books. John Layman, looks like we got here, and some other guys on the Titans 4 Terminated. I don't remember that at all. But it's an all-in title, so I'm going to pass on it. Jeff Lemire and Justin and Jen on Jason Todd, Batman, Robin. Hawkeye, Mad Fraction, My Life as a Weapon. Premier Collection trade coming up for $15. This is their alternative to the DC Compact. Dead Eyes Volume 2 is out this week too as well. And we also have Uncanny X-Men by Brian Michael Bendis. Ooh, do you think he'll return to that? Remember, he's going back to Marvel. Do you think he'll be working on a X-Men book? Or do you think he'll be on a Spider-Man book? I think Bendis should return to Ultimate Spider-Man because he's the only one who's ever actually written that character good for Miles Morales. Actually, you know what? Put Brian Michael Bendis on the Ultimate Universe. Let him do that. Can't be any worse than what they were having when they did House of X and all crap. Tomb Raider Colossal Collection hardcover, $100 through Dark Horse. All the Top Cow books are being collected again in this little collection here. So if you've missed out on that, also for whatever reason they decided to put Batman and Robin Adventures into a trade. We just got an omnibus either last year or early this year because I bought it. So it's DC trying to milk some more money out of you. Image releasing Free Planet Volume 1 trade collected now. And let me get into scroll down to Return of Wolverine, if you case you care about that. Yosagi Gym Socks, 10,000 plums. New trade. And where's the PSR book? Venom 40 Years, the first year's hardcover through Titan Comics. Thor Masterworks, Volume 24. There they are. Kid Eternity and Daredevil Precode are the PSR books this week. You got a softie and then you got a hardcover. So the softie's listed at $32.99. I can only imagine what the hardcover is going to cost. But that is it for this week. Alrighty then. Let me stop sharing screen here, and I'll just throw us up here like normal. Nope, I don't do that. Alrighty then. So that is it for this week. Hope you guys had fun. And yeah, not much to say other than I don't know. You guys in the chat see anything you liked? I know a lot of you are saying like, "Oh, I don't want to pick up some of these books." Good night to Brian Strand, who just left. Yeah, got an early day tomorrow. All right, yeah, have Thanksgiving too, man. Alfred as a robot, yes, he was in the other one. Hey, I'm KF30. I was hey, how meta was Batman Deadpool issue 2? I did not check it out. I know Wes was hawking that book too. I'm not sure if he read it or if he just was just excited. I think he was just excited to read it.
No, he read it. He liked it.
Better than okay.
And he's not a Grant Morrison fan, so that's
yeah. Like I said, I don't really have a desire for the crossovers because it's just the writers that we could have on there, but are blackballed from the industry, or they passed away. Peter David would have been a great artist or writer to be on there.
Not for Batman Deadpool.
Well, no, because it's not just Batman Deadpool. There's other heroes crossovers.
Who cares?
Well, I care. If you had better writers on there, I'd rather read them.
I don't know that I'd give a shit about a X-23 Daredevil crossover, or whatever the hell it was.
Well, to be fair, the way you don't like that is the same reason I don't like Algamum and stuff. They're really crossovers. But I'm saying at least if you have better writers on there, I'd probably care more about the character. If it's X-23 written by Peter David and allowed to write it the way she was in the beginning, not where she's Wolverine, yeah, I would like that.
Oh, you mean like back when she was a crack whore?
Back when she was a killer machine before she was rehabilitated by Wolverine.
No, she was originally a crack whore.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and because her first appearance was in NYX.
Nyx, yeah.
You know, one that's just really bizarre. That when Claremont was writing her in X-Men, I liked the character.
Yeah,
that was before the new rules took over.
Yeah, if we were getting rid of the new rules, and honestly, I would have Jeremy Adams give me or Josh Williams give me a Superman Spider-Man story.
Well, I said, you know, I want to write Superman Spider-Man because I know they're doing one. I'd like him to get Jerry Conway out of retirement.
You know what? I'd probably trust that, and as long as he's able to not have to adhere to the new freaking rules.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm afraid that they're going to get to do it though.
I'm trying to think. Zeb Wells,
Dan Slott.
Oh, great. No thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would love to read another Superman Spider-Man, but I would come out a new comic retirement for that if it's the right creative team.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's gonna be it for tonight. We'll be back.
At least no, I take it back. I'd like to see him get.
Who's that?
If not Jerry Conway, they have to get him out of retirement too. Somebody's written both characters extensively and written both very well. Roger Stern.
I was gonna say if I can't get Roger Stern, I'd say Dan Jurgens.
Dan Jurgens has never written Peter Parker.
He's written Ben Reilly though.
I think he was Ben Reilly when he was on the book. So I'd take Dan Jurgens.
Yeah. At least he'd pay respect to it, and we get most likely we get a post-crisis Superman.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, though, if I don't want to ramble Rowell, Tim Drake, and who are the gay character or Iceman story. You know, Robin Iceman. I don't want stuff like that. Unfortunately, though, there ain't much talent out there, that's current talent that is actually writing anything that is of interest. That's at Marvel and DC. I tolerate Jed McKay because Jed McKay is not a weirdo like all the other ones in Marvel currently. You know, Benjamin Percy is another writer at Marvel that I've actually been enjoying his stuff. Benjamin Percy brought back Patches, or whatever it's called. Patch, and he had Wolverine smoking a cigar. The little mini was it 4 issues? I think it was 4 or 5. Yeah. So, yeah, we're interested to see what they do with that, but. Or even Chris Claremont. Why isn't Chris Claremont doing the crossovers? Are they afraid he's going to take up the whole entire book?
Oh,
Because he was doing the throwbacks. Chris Claremont would be awesome to have on a book like that. Hell, let Chris Claremont throw a throwback book like that, But it's a crossover, DC crossover, Marvel DC crossover, but it's a throwback. And you get the writers like Dan Durgans, Chris Claremont, Hell, bring in Roger Stern if he can still write. That's what I want. But is there a ranking tonight? I do not know, sir. I do not look at his channel until after we're done here. I imagine there probably is one. It's just, he just puts it up 2 minutes before we go live. So, that being said, I'm going to hop off here. If you haven't done the clicking and the liking and all that fun stuff, please do that right now. And we'll see you guys later then. Unless you guys have any final questions at all. Oh, I haven't seen anything posted yet. Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe he fell asleep. I don't know. It'll be there though. As soon as you go to make other plans, he's like, boop, and it's there. Where's everybody? That's right. I'll just say this. I'll just say it. If you don't see one now and you want to have a night off, don't check again. Just go to bed.
Prediction: it will pop up at 10:32.
Probably. We have 11 people watching. They're probably asking the same question. Is there a cover ranking tonight? Because you see Venkman's live. All right, though. He doesn't believe in advance notice. Honestly, I don't think he cares. He gives it. Yeah, I always got the excuse. Hey, things. Whenever I do that, something always comes up. To me, it just became an excuse to me.
Well, I will say one thing. Since I was watching wrestling, not on the auction.
Yeah,
I was like surfing around on YouTube. Every time I went back to YouTube, refreshed it, his auction was nowhere. No matter how far down I scrolled, I had to type in. I had to press the favorite bar, like for the things you frequently use, and click on I Love Comics to get it.
Were you on your phone?
Every time.
PC or phone?
On my desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, it showed up on my phone, so it's weird. I mean, it's like I don't know how that algorithm works, but even though I had just been there 5 minutes earlier, it disappeared.
Yeah, because my phone is pretty good for keeping update and all that stuff. Yeah, my phone is the only thing that my phone doesn't really work with is Twitch. Twitch has been breaking over there too.
Yeah, you're on the leg.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're gonna end it here, and chances are there'll be one popping up, and there is right there. Bronze covers, Age Conco book cover is chosen by the viewers. Dark Admiral March Hare. So, I'm gonna end it here. And then we'll see you guys over in a few minutes. And I love comics. Take care, guys, and have a safe Thanksgiving. Or drive safe if you're driving. And especially up here in the northern states here, we're getting like snow and stuff. So if you don't have to travel, don't travel. And just eat a lot of pumpkin pie. All right, guys. Later. Thanks for watching.
Good night, kids.